What's good, everybody? It's friend Carrick here. We got a brief but useful SP tip today. I'm using the 5 to demonstrate this, but I think you can pretty much use any SP to do this trick. Basically, what we want to do is we want to save space. You know, you only have so many pads to work with. Memory limitations aside, there's only a finite number of actual pads and banks on these machines. So this tip is going to help y'all consolidate and save space. And there's some interesting applications we can use it for. So let's just go ahead and get into it with probably the most practical example. So here on bank F, I have a bunch of one-shots that are Foley sounds that are from the new Bag Season Records pack I put together with the rest of those guys. And they're super fire. But I think I'm mostly going to use them as texture and, you know, kind of layering over the top of my drums and beats. So I don't really necessarily need them all on separate pads. So there's a few ways you can do this, but basically we want to take like all these pads that currently have Foley one-shots on them and consolidate them into one pad. All we're going to do is resample all these pads together onto one pad. Alright, so check it. Y'all know how to resample at this point. Let's turn fixed velocity on. I just want to make sure that we play everything at the max volume so that later we have the freedom to go up and down in the volume if we need to. That last one was not Foley, but you get the idea. So look, now we have this. We have one single audio file, and it's got all of our stuff playing. And then basically we just use the mark button to pick the one we want at any given time, and we would delete the rest of these, which I'm not going to do in case I have to reshoot this for some reason. Hope I don't. But yeah, so like, let's say we want to get like the third hit out of there, so right? So I missed it a little bit. This is the only thing about this method is a little tedious to get the exact one that you want. But if you've been using the SP for a while, you're just going to know that the mark button is a skill that you're going to get more used to as you use the device more. You know, you're going to get used to marking where you want to mark, and don't forget you have the start and end point levels to you know, adjust. That's pretty close. But so once you're done with this, I would not truncate this because you want to come back to these later. But what you could do if you really wanted to is resample this, you know. You know, assuming that all these were gone and deleted and number 10 was the only one you had on this bank, you could resample this out, you know. And then you have your one shot, and then when you're done with that, after you've made the beat or whatever, you can delete that and reset back to just having number 10. Right? That makes sense, right? So you're just basically consolidating all your one shots onto one pad and then choosing with the mark button which one that you want. Now, this is the tip of the iceberg, folks. We're using this for drum, you know, one shots or whatever. But think about this. You could use this for tags, or I played this earlier. It was a little bit of a spoiler. This is a bass note. So what I did was, in Ableton, I took a bass note and I played it 12 times chromatically, which means every point in the scale from the root note, C, to the top C in an octave. So listen. Right, you hear it, it's coming up chromatically. And maybe you see where I'm going with this, but this allows you, instead of having a 16, like a whole bank filled with bass notes, you have one pad filled with bass notes. You're making a beat, right? You're saying, hey, this would be fire if I had a bass on this. Figure out the key, or just, you know, which note or a few notes sounds good with the sample or whatever you're making. And then you can resample this out. Say it's the third note, right? C. Say that note fit. That would be a C, D flat. That'd be a D. Say the D fit. Pause. You got, record that, and look, now you have a D. You see where I'm going with this, right? This allows you to keep an entire scale of bass notes in one pad. It's not going to take up a whole bank, and then you just pick the notes that you need when it's time. Anyway, I'm talking a lot at this point. Y'all get the idea. Check out this Bag Season Records Foley kit that we used today in the video. Until the next one, peace. Oh, also, I just want to say, we recently passed 500 subs on the channel, and I just want to thank y'all for the support on the channel and on the videos. You know, all I want to do is share knowledge with y'all and help you learn how to use the SP. So it means a lot to me that y'all are leaving comments and thumbs up and subscribing. So yeah, I just wanted to say thanks again. We will be here in the next one. Peace.